All right, so what is up, everyone? It has been a while. It has been a while since I came on live, and I think it is time to kind of share what is it like, or at least to share my experience. What has it been like for the past 3 years in blockchain and cryptocurrency? This video is a little bit different from the usual stuff that I've done before. I haven't been, I haven't been doing much videos, to be honest, and I'm gonna have to share this with you guys. So if you're watching this episode for the very first time and you're wondering what Crypto Grinders is all about, the Crypto Grinders is an education channel where we teach people about the space, literally about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. We speak to projects. We also talk to our members or our subscribers like yourself what blockchain and cryptocurrency is all about, and we try our best to really dumb it down and make it really simple for everybody to understand. So what has it been like for me? Well, okay, if you are someone who has been following me for, say, ever since I started blockchain and cryptocurrency, it has been quite a journey, guys. So everything started out from scratch, right? Doing videos exactly just like this, just talking about blockchain, just talking about cryptocurrency. We were all very, very excited, and that was 2016 for me. The very first episode that I did on Crypto Grinders was actually in 2017, March to be exact. But I started in Bitcoin in 2016. That was the very first time I purchased Bitcoin. It was just through an ATM, and yeah, it was quite an experience. So what did I do? I just basically bought Bitcoin, transferred it to a wallet. That was it. Didn't really think too much about it. I felt that, okay, cool. We have a decentralized digital currency. But I never saw the real importance of it. Being in Singapore, we have a very efficient financial system, and yeah, it was something that I never really thought too much about. I felt that we were in a very unique scenario, and I just wanted to figure out what this what is Bitcoin, what's peer-to-peer networks, what's a node, what is mining all about. And that's how I kind of got into the whole blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Then we had Ethereum, where Ethereum was the smart contract protocol, or what we know as a platform that allows you to build decentralized applications. I've always wondered, do we necessarily have to categorize it as a decentralized application when in actual fact it's just applications. It's just another space where it's just another place where you can place or you can start developing apps. To me, it's the same. Okay, I don't really want to categorize it as something else. And so the whole space started to explode when ICOs started to get really hot. And I think anyone in 2017 can really feel the excitement, because everything started to move, right? And it was due to a number of things, and it was due to the fact that at that time we didn't know what venture capitalists were, or what were hedge funds. And I think hedge funds were not really in at that time. It was more of VCs that they had enough liquidity to also provide and also make the right connections to move these projects. And everyone started to get excited. You could turn $100 to $1,000 in a matter of days. $10,000 became $100,000 in a matter of months, sometimes even weeks, right? So everybody started to ride on the dream, and that's when the whole space started to erupt. You have Bloomberg, you have CNBC started to talk about Bitcoin, and it was very interesting, because these people were from the traditional financial markets, and I'm from the traditional financial markets. I was a banker for 6.5 years, and that was when the whole space just erupted, and hence the channel was created. I realized that if this space was going to get involved in investing, and people were very clueless because they have never touched stocks before, right? Very few were even interested in stocks. let alone stocks. Very few even have any forex background. Okay, so zero trading background, nothing. And they stepped into a space that was unregulated, right? Because exchanges, as we know, are not licensed. Even till today, they are not licensed. They do not need to be licensed. Just so you know, they do not need to be licensed. There was a lack in KYC procedures. That means because of the way decentralized currencies are being run, a token, you don't need to know someone. You don't really need to know someone. As long as you knew the address, right? I mean, obviously, theoretically, you need to know the address in order to send money to someone, right? And hence, they have to know you and know your address in order to send money to you. So it was like a mutual thing. I didn't need to know anything past that. But when exchanges started to become involved, that's when the whole space really erupted. So ICOs obviously were kind of the initial catalyst. And this is a very nerdy space. In 2017, it was still a very nerdy space. Anything early 2017 and before, very nerdy. Okay? Because I would be involved, or I would want to participate in your project because I believed in your mission and vision that you could build something, right? And that was how it all started, especially when how Vitalik came out and he was writing for I think a Bitcoin newspaper or magazine, of course, about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, decentralization, and so on and so forth, right? That's how it all started. Then the exchanges came in. You had your Mt. Gox, then after that you had your Bitstamp, so on and so forth. People just wanted to buy this Bitcoin, this digital currency. And a large part of it was all involved in more on the darknet, where people are just transacting, buying drugs, anything and everything, in that space. But then things started to surface, right? People suddenly caught word of Bitcoin, and that's when it got really interesting. And that's how I personally got involved, because more platforms on the internet market, or at least internet marketing platforms, were starting to be a little bit more receptive, because it was a different way of transacting. But obviously it was not very traceable at that point. Nobody needed to declare any taxes on it. No governments knew how to even tax it, because how the heck would they know? How would they trace it, right? Because it's out of the banking system. So, long story short, we were in 2017. Everything exploded. Market makers started to step in. Everything started to get exciting. Okay, everything. Children, we're talking about kids, okay, or teenagers, were able to get involved. And that was the power, because suddenly there was an opportunity for people who were of that age to be able to start buying cryptocurrencies, okay? And I was like thinking to myself, these people are exactly what we need, because they have every right to be excited about something. Because if you want someone who is a teenager to get involved in stocks and so forth, right? I guess they can, under a certain level of supervision. I guess they can, because right now the internet is very powerful. Everybody is connected. You go to YouTube, you can click and learn anything. You go to Google, you can click and learn anything. So to me, why was it? It wasn't even a surprise to see teenagers starting to get really excited. And after my channel started to pop up, there were other channels where you have very young individuals starting to create content about cryptocurrencies. They were just very excited to talk about crypto. But however, because they were very inexperienced about what was going on, other than the price, they were not able to see past that. They were not able to understand fundamentals of how a business is being built. How does fundraising happen? Why does fundraising happen? Simple things like that. What's the process of building a business is something very, very different. And how you analyze that as an investor and how you see things from the market and do trading is entirely different. So Crypto Grinders was just basically started just to help everybody understand from a very simple layman terms. So going forward, as a business currently, right, I think I'm speaking from personal experience how challenging it has been. Okay, and as a cryptocurrency, blockchain, education, media, we focus on helping companies or brands tell their story, right? Because every single blockchain and cryptocurrency company, all right, they are trying to communicate with their community. They are usually people who are trying to keep connected with their community. But it's very difficult because building a business, let me share a little bit about building a business, at least to help you all understand. It's so difficult because when you start a business, right, guys, honestly, it's very boring. Okay, can I just say that it's very boring. There is passion, don't get me wrong. There is always passion when you build something. There's always a vision, right? You think that, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I want to start something. I feel that I can do better than what is existingly in the market. Either I reinvent the wheel or I just build something that maybe people want, and I hope that I can create a market. Hence, everybody is talking about token value, ecosystem, so on and so forth, right? What's the token value going to be like? What's the tokenomics going to be like? Everybody's trying to create their own little kingdom, right? And that's how everyone always likes to issue their own tokens. That's fine, okay? That is really fine because that is what innovation is all about. And this is kind of like where I started to see, okay, everybody is trying to, well, not exactly replicate Bitcoin. Some want to improve Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency. Hence, you have Bitcoin Cash, you have Ripple. Some want to create enterprise solutions. Some want to create platforms and eventually at least start the initial infrastructure so that when blockchain is more mature, right? And when we as people are more mature to understand that blockchain is going to be the next thing, you're going to see more developers. And there are already a lot of developers working in the blockchain space, okay? It's just a given. So I, being someone who is non-techie, but I love to dumb things down because I personally am I'm a retail investor. I started out as a retail investor myself, and gradually I said, hey, maybe people would want to know more about how this space works. So I started reading up very extensively, and after a while, as the channel grew, right, projects started to connect with us. At the same time, I realized that, hey, these projects don't have much of, they have a community, but everybody comes on board with, I would say, mixed expectations. It's not purely about what they do. It's more about, can I make money? It was very different. In 2017, everybody only wanted to think about making money. It's after 2017, in 2018 to be more frank, when the market died down, that's when you really see who's the community, right? Because a lot of folks were obviously backholding because the market makers just disappeared. They focused on their own issues, right? Some of them have closed down. Projects who have still enough funding because they were able to cash out at the high and they had very good financial management, were able to maintain their operational costs, and obviously they are still running till today, but however they are very lean. They're not going to spend unnecessarily, as opposed to there are still projects that are out there that are still spending on market making and token value management. It's just like that, okay? So in 2017, that was the story. Okay, no one was really listening to the story. No one really cared because honestly, you could just throw a stone and you would make money, guys. No matter how ignorant you were, you would make money. But the train kind of stopped very abruptly. I would say the train actually crashed really hard when, I guess, regulations started to step in. There was more ways of tracking where the money was flowing. And after that, there were a lot of regulations, licenses that started to pop up and hunting down all the crypto exchanges. And as long as you were a citizen of a certain country running an exchange, you would be kind of hunted down in a certain way. I think the Koreans experienced that, the Japanese experienced that, people in the US obviously, and things started to get a little bit more difficult, okay? Then, of course, we all experience exchange hacks, right? I mean, not that I'm pretty fortunate I never experienced an exchange hack, but I think there were folks who did. and either it was most of the time, guys, it's usually an inside job. It was very, very difficult. Okay, it was very, very difficult, and it was mostly an inside job. But never mind. Let's not speculate. I don't want to speculate. And one thing I like about this space, it's very unique. So let me just share the difference. In the traditional market, right? If you were invested in a stock, there's no group, there's no community, there's no Apple Telegram group. Let's just use Apple as an example. There's no Apple Telegram group where you can go in and, hey guys, I'm an Apple stockholder. I really want to talk about Apple. I love Apple very much. It's kind of different. There's no such thing. But here in this space is quite adorable, where people will buy a particular token, and because there's a Telegram group, right, to kind of have a level of transparency, and obviously that Telegram group will, especially when the project matures, right, it will be a form of communication, like, hey guys, this is what we've been building, this is what we've been doing, yeah, so this is we fucked up on this part, stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to swear, but this is kind of like what happens in a Telegram group most of the time. So you have a mix, and you have this little community that starts growing. Okay, whether the community was built organically or whether the community was, because of airdrops. Usually it's airdrops. Well, CG has a Telegram group. It was purely organic because we don't do giveaways or whatever. But we built our community from scratch, right? And I realized that was something very interesting, because a community comes together and they start talking about stuff. And the community is not just I would say that as the community matures, okay, that's the right word to use. As the community matures, you would see the conversations become more mature, because my community actually grew together with me. So in the past, we were all very clueless, not knowing what is happening, never experienced what a bear market is like. Everyone came in at a good time, as per se. But then when the market started to die down, it was also very sad to see people go. But it's also good to see people mature. And I think it's through the very challenging times that you'll see who wants to still truly be in the space. It's just the same when I look at projects, right? And of course, we do project advisory. We still focus on where is the project headed and what have they built so far. Because when you raise money, right, guys, I feel that it's always, I mean, we never raise money as a business. A large part of our business was all purely through, a large part of our business all purely revenue generated. We literally went out, provided our services to our clients, and make sure we did good work, though that the results are our testimonial. Whereas in the crypto space, when you do an ICO, you are selling people based on a dream, right? A vision, your white paper, your team, right? That's all you got. Maybe you got a demo here and there. Maybe you got some MVP, where you call it a minimum viable product. So you go out there, you start selling the idea, and if people bought into it, they invest. That was the ICO. So since a lot of people got burned, nobody even wants to talk about ICOs these days. I mean, these days ICOs are definitely going to have to really up their game, like 10x or 100x, because the people who are still in the space, imagine, let's just put it this way, 2017, nobody knew jack shit about ICO. They don't even know what's an IPO, which is initial public offering, which is the traditional financial markets where you would be a company, you are bootstrapped, you're going to be begging VCs to give you 20,000, 50,000 to just start your company. Nothing of the millions here, guys, okay? Nothing of the millions. You're going to be owned by the VCs, and VCs are just going to work you hard until you can create something that is able to help the company raise the valuation and build it from there. It takes a number of years. But the ICO space was so vibrant, so hot, that VCs caught on and they said, wow, shit, I can be flipping stuff, right, so easily. Okay? And this is something where it was very, very powerful. So imagine if I'm a startup company, right? And I'm able to finally be able to raise funds because I want to be able to build something in the space. I was like, Yeah, man. I mean, I would do it, right? If I really wanted to raise money, I would go through the ICO route. But then, when I raised the money, right, because of the speed that anyone can raise money, a lot of people didn't have the right talent. Let's say personally, if I'm not in finance, I don't know who to connect to. Okay, I'm just a tech guy. Let's just assume that I'm professionally just a tech guy. I only know how to do coding. I don't know how to manage finances. Let's assume that this person is individually financially, he's not even able to even manage his funds, right? How can he manage millions of dollars? How does one do that? It's not like something you learn overnight. So you need to bring on the right people. And now in 2018 to 2019, you have companies that are smart enough to hire a CFO, which is a chief financial officer, right? You have at least people who have been entrepreneurs before, and they are able to kind of flip businesses. Alright, they are already familiar already. They know how to flip businesses already. So you're having this group of people come into the space. Whereas in the past, you're seeing very young individuals. Some of them are genuine, but some of them are just trying their luck. So you kind of roughly know, right? Especially if you're a more mature investor in the space, you roughly know whether they're trying to pull something out of their asses, right? Then of course you have the ones who are more credible, who are really here to build something, and they have been here. They're still around. And so it takes a number of years, guys, and that is why, this is really been the experience of what, or at least this has been my personal experience. And as I work with these projects, right, I know exactly who's still doing good works, and I think it's very encouraging. And although I don't talk about it very often, because business development is boring. I love connecting with people, but business development is actually something that is not it's not something that you can come on every day and start talking about it. It's very difficult because you need to build up enough experience and perspective before you can come on and do something. I'm not doing news. You get what I'm saying? I'm not reading someone else's stuff. I'm building something. So when I'm building something, there's really not a lot to talk about. It's like you going about your day, right? And you don't really need to share about your day every day, right? Just saying. So that's pretty much how it's been like. Have I seen more improvements? Have I seen more products? Yes, definitely. That's the encouraging part about 3 years in the space. I've seen wallets that are now more secure. They are more user-friendly. I've seen more different types of products. For example, now I see blockchain phones, right? I think we've seen all that. I don't know how viable it is at the moment because I think it's really clunky. I find that why don't you just use an app? I mean, look, you are not really wanting to have your cold wallet on your phone. We lose our phones quite easily. We leave it around and stuff like that. I know there's a level of security when you lose your blockchain phone. Okay, I get it. But I think that's a bit of a hard sell. We all know what we're talking about. Then we have okay, so the next thing, we probably have blockchain games. I'm very excited about how blockchain games is like. Blockchain games is kind of... Blockchain games, I would say, is very primitive because games, let's just put it this way. Any game right now, if you want to play it, right, you are paying a monthly for your internet, right, or your Wi-Fi, right, and you buy the game. And the game is pretty much enjoyable past the moment you purchase that. You purchase it one time. Obviously, there are games where you have in-app stuff, where you buy stuff, you buy like aesthetic stuff or weapons or whatever. Sure, I get the whole, pay and play model, and there are monthly subscriptions. But when you create a blockchain game, unfortunately, every single transaction, everything that you do on the network, unfortunately, is not free. But maybe I'm that's why I'm going to be speaking to a few a few blockchain game developers and see how have they been able to combat this problem, right? Because we are a little bit too advanced in that aspect. Then suddenly you have blockchain games. I don't know. I think it's more of it's going to be a different economy of its own. It's really going to be a different economy. I don't really see it yet. I know there's certain projects like called Decentraland. Like I said, there's no financial advice in this episode, guys. It's really just name dropping because these are the things that I can think of. Like Decentraland has land that you can buy, and apparently you can build a lot of stuff on it, and you can even create various things. Maybe you can create an exchange or an office, an actual virtual office where you can put people there. Obviously, you can build it and really play it, interact with people in the virtual world. It's like Sims, but just more extensive. I think there's a lot of stuff that you can do in this space. But having said that, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because whatever we see right now, as in the present world, it's so advanced that the blockchain world is like eons away, guys. It's eons away. But however, are there industries that could really utilize this space? I agree. I would say there is. You have the insurance industry that needs this space. The property needs a nice overhaul where you can easily transact title deeds on the blockchain, and it's easily verifiable. You have of course, the medical industry needs to have everything on this space as well, right? It's about tracking and making sure there's data privacy, and of course, another thing about blockchain is the immutability. You cannot just once you create a very strong chain, you cannot just change the data, right? So data privacy is something very powerful as well. And of course, a large part of people who are content creators like myself. You see, right now when I create and upload a video on YouTube, okay, for example, honestly, a lot of people can just take it and use it. I always see my content on some aggregator platforms or someone else, or if let's say if it happens to be 1 million views and above kind of video, right? You notice that people can just extract that video and put it on their makeshift channel and start earning ad revenue on it. And yeah, people do that. It's the internet, guys. And I realize that that's just the way it is. I don't do that, but I see that people do that to earn some quick money. It's understandable. It's the internet. So yeah, it's just the way it is. And I feel that there's a lot of education that still needs to be done in this space. Like, I'm always learning. I'm just amazed at how much stuff there is to learn all the time. And I just want to say that I'm really happy to be able to kind of just start sharing again, start being able to just communicate with you guys. And like I said, I used to do so much content at a very regular timing. Like right now, when I started the stream, it was 8 o'clock in Singapore. And I mean, a bit of personal stuff. I had a baby. I mean, my second child, 2017. So it has been very tiring as a parent as well. It's not easy to be a parent because your kid wakes up ever so often in the middle of the night and messes up your whole sleep schedule. The mood is just not there, and it takes a lot of discipline to actually do videos. So I really salute YouTubers, especially any YouTuber that can just consistently create content and always engage and update their subscribers, whether is it funny or controversial or educational. I think it takes a lot to be a YouTuber. It really takes a lot because you have to interact with your audience. You need to keep them engaged. You need to think of content consistently about what to update them with or what to talk about. And yeah, I find that this space has still a lot to grow, and it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting. I think 2019 is going to be the year of, I think it's going to be still a bear market. Okay, I just want to say it on a personal basis. It's still going to be a bear market. STO is still a long way to go because I think STO is just a catchphrase. To me, I think it's just license or a digitized version or a digitized version or fractionalized version of stocks. That's all I see it as. And to me, the most qualified people that can do it are usually the existing exchanges. But the problem with that is, will it appeal to people who were in crypto? You know what I'm saying? Like, the people in crypto don't even want to buy Apple stocks these days. Sure, you may say, oh, because Apple stocks are this expensive. But to me, I'm thinking, hey, if people are buying Bitcoin, right, why is it that they are being deterred from buying companies like Apple? Is it because they boycott it? I don't think so. There are a lot of people who own iPhones, right? There are a lot of people who still love Mac products, right? So why is it that no one even bothers to buy? You can ask any young person, do they own Apple stocks? They can tell you, I don't own any Apple stocks, but I have an iPhone. Yeah, so I don't know how the STO market is going to start coming up, or how it's going to develop. Is it going to be receptive to the young people? I want to hear from you guys. Is STO going to be something that you guys are going to be interested in, right? And is it going to be the same level of interest as the ICOs? I guess it all boils down to how the prices react again, because it's a very realistic world. Why would I want to buy something if there's no, I'm now trading my hard-earned money from my day job or my savings or my pension fund in hopes that this token and this security will do well in the future, or at least it will pay me some dividends. This is how I would think as an investor, okay? And as a trader, it all boils down to how much market activity there is. There's no two ways about it, guys. There's no two ways about it. So I'm just wondering right now, how does everyone think about the whole STO space and everything? Let's put the licenses aside, okay? Because licensing and regulations, that's above us, right? But ultimately, how would we perceive STOs? Like, are we excited about it? It looks very regulated, right? I need to KYC myself, in order for me to be part of a STO exchange, as opposed to maybe if I was in a digital asset to digital asset exchange, I don't really have to KYC that much. I can just, trade with whatever I'm happy with. I don't have to have the max KYC, so I kind of maintain a little bit of privacy. But STOs, or at least STO exchanges, require you to do full KYC. So I don't know. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a very exciting time to see everyone start evolving. Same old. All the drama on Twitter. Between this founder and another founder, and this founder just pumping and dumping stuff. Yeah, honestly, I want to start doing more content again. I promise you that I will be doing more content. I'm not gonna just say it. I'm gonna commit myself to do it. And I want to know, like, what's a good topic to talk about these days. I personally want to start reviewing actual products, whether it's a software solution, whether it's a game, or whether is it a product. I want to start at being able to talk about it. I've been in this space long enough that I feel that I want to start, being able to hold something and, being able to use it. And it's just, if I can't even understand it, right, I think that's poor design in itself, because things were meant to be easy. Why the iPhone, right, just became so popular? Because anybody can use it. Anybody can just pick it up and start using it. It's not like you need to read a whole 1,000-page manual how to use a smartphone. You know what I mean? That's the beauty, and I hope that eventually blockchain will become like that. And I guarantee you, people who are from the traditional tech space are coming in. They want to see this stuff as well, but they realize, wow, how premature is the infrastructure, and why it's like that is to. I guess it's a trade-off between security and speed. It's always that, security and speed. You want to have more security. You're gonna sacrifice on your speed. You want to have more speed. You're gonna sacrifice on your security. That means less nodes, so on and so forth. And I think there's another third one. Shucks, getting old. I know there's basically a triangle of stuff that you have to kind of. Yeah. And anyway, it doesn't matter. So anyway, guys. I want to hear more from you guys. What kind of content you would really like to see? I mean, I'm open, right? I'm open. Like I mentioned to you, I just gave some suggestions. But you know what, guys? If you haven't, been seeing my stream in a while, feel free to join me on my Telegram. My Telegram is still open. I'm always there. In fact, I'm just waiting for people to do more interaction in there. Like I said, this is going to be a space that we're going to be together for a while, guys. It's going to be a number of years before we actually see anything exciting. But in the meantime, I think we still have each other. We still have this channel where we can have some fun. We can talk about it. Yeah. So anyway, that's all for the stream today, and have a good weekend, guys. And like I said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.